Camfed Mastercard Foundation Annual Research and Learning Summit with the team supporting youth to learn enterprises in agricultural value chains with the aim to discuss research funding on the challenge limiting the full participation of young people in agricultural value chain.
Whether or not the commercial banks will be able to balance what they are giving to the farmers and not have an adverse effect on their other commercial.
Speaking at the event was the Senior Fellow of African Center for Economic Transformation, Professor John Asafo Ajayi, said that there's need for government to conduct research in order to get appropriate technology for sustainable economic condition in Ghana.
And lastly, there should be more expenditure on agricultural R&D. You can see that the graph that I showed was total agricultural spending in Ghana. If you look at spending for research and development, it's even much lower. I didn't have a graph for that, but it's much lower than things such as climate smart agriculture. We need to conduct more research into which of these innovations are more appropriate for different regions of the country, depending on the agro-climatic conditions. And this requires research. If you look at research institutions such as the CSR, mostly funding to such institutions is mostly to pay for salaries. And maybe sometimes that's a challenge. If you talk to people in these institutions, you see that most of the money they're using for research is coming from outside, mostly from donors. And so there's a need for the country to increase research into this sector to make sure that we get appropriate technologies which are suitable for the climatic conditions that we have.
I try to compare what the young people have and what the old people have. What the old people have that the young people should have and do not have. So in all, I want to see why older farmers are more competitive than younger farmers. This could be a reason why young people are not engaging in agriculture. So I found that older people have a competitive edge over the young farmers in terms of labor. They had larger family sizes, as expected. An older farmer would have a large family size. The family size serves as farm labor. So consequently, they would have access to labor compared with the young guy who is on his own. Secondly, the age. In Africa, we usually see age is a proxy for wealth and income and resource accumulation. So older farmers have more money than younger farmers. And that is also a problem. Age is also the price of wisdom. Older farmers had more experience than the younger farmers. In terms of access to extension, both public and private, the older people had these facilities compared with the younger people. And in terms of collective action, where I measured it using group membership, whether you are a member of a farmer-based group, I actually participated in some of the group meetings and you almost never find young people there. It's full of older people. Also, in terms of economic upgrading activities, you find that almost nearly no young farmer is a certified mango farmer. This actually impedes the ability of a young farmer to access the high value market. But farmers were certified mango farmers, allowing their access to high value mango markets. In terms of motorized transport, which is popularly known in Ghana as the aboboya, when you go to the farm, you find that a lot of the older farmers have this aboboya, but the younger farmers do not have them. So this descriptive aid that they do not have the resources of the older farmers. Next slide. So we used some econometric analysis, and then we found that education was positively related to access to high value market by younger farmers. It simply means that when you go to the area, the state area, it was very obvious that the younger farmers had more access to formal education compared with the older farmers. And this access to formal education increased their access. This is simply because they could read and write, They could understand the market dynamics, especially the ones and the requirements of the high-value markets. So access to formal education is important if you want to access high-value markets, because they are the ones who are more likely to engage in agriculture compared to the urban youth. But when we are increasing access to formal education, we should reorient the youth on the need for participation in agriculture, which value chain has the highest revenue. It is important that the youth knows that. Also, we should intensify capacity development programs. So beyond formal education, there should be other mentorship programs organized by both government and non-governmental organizations. We should also intensify access to both government and private extension services to be able to train the youth on better or improved agronomic practices. And this would enhance their productivity and quality, ability to meet quality standards, which will consequently lend them access to high-value markets. There should also be the need to create opportunities for access to credit. My point of access to credit is not just financial, because of the fungibility of money. One of my supervisors goes like, when I labor, because of course the youth is less likely to have a large family size, and even a child older, even if the child is older, it's child labor. So the youth cannot really get access to family labor. So when we capacitate the youth through access to credit, or even giving the youth labor, we can get them on the farm, productivity increases, and consequently access to high-value markets. We should also promote infrastructural development, because sometimes we produce capacity building, education. We also need to focus on the money. Give them money. We hope that they will marry more and they will use it to pay for their school fees. Give the youth money, and also give them access to market. Because what is the point in getting money, in getting mentorship, and no one buying your product? Because I carried about 40 kilos of shea butter. My friends bought 10 kg, the rest is still there. So we shouldn't do this in isolation. We should do all three together. Most of the youth entrepreneurship projects will go like, let's go capacitate them, let's go give them training, they learn how to build business plans and all that. Others will also say, let's give them $2,000 seed fund. But I barely hear people say, let's give them market. Through mentorship, they can get access to market. Through money, I don't know. Okay, so next value chain, we check out for the most feasible and profitable node of the value chain. Is it trade? Is it farming? Is it processing? Then we should encourage youth participation there. Because of course, we all admit that farming is not so sexy. We are trying to make it sexy, but there are other nodes on the agricultural value chain. Trading, I can just buy
low interest rate loans. We don't know what interest rates distinct for the normal commercial loan. And I'm very sure that the conditions are tight, which are bad. But these are my expectations.
Okay. The other part of the question was